Today, friends, as we offer our gratitude to God for 100 years of teaching and learning and living at Christian Theological Seminary, please join me in responding together. Gracious God, receive our gratitude. For the generations of native peoples on whose ancestral homeland this seminary has stood for 100 years, the Miami, the Shawnee, and the Delaware. Gracious God, receive our gratitude. For the visionary founders of the Butler School of Religion, and especially Dean Frederick Doyle Kirshner, who in a time of division and strife founded a theological school open to all on an equal basis. Gracious God, receive our gratitude. For pioneering faculty like Toyozo Nakarai, Morris Feuerlicht, and Elena Grafton, who boldly taught on our faculty at a time when women and immigrants, people of color, and people of other faiths were given almost no place in theological education. Gracious God, receive our gratitude. For the trustees of the Christian Foundation, without whose wise counsel and generous support, the newly founded Butler School of Religion would not have survived the Great Depression or the war years. Gracious God, receive our gratitude. For President Orman Shelton, Dean Ronald Osborne, and Trustee J. Irwin Miller, who led a newly independent, reincorporated Christian Theological Seminary in the direction of ecumenical, progressive, and justice-oriented expressions of faith, gracious God, receive our gratitude. For thousands of alumni and alumna who served with faithfulness the Church Universal, and especially the Christian Church Disciples of Christ, in ministries of preaching, leadership, pastoral care, music, and religious education, gracious God, receive our gratitude. For architect Edward Larrabee Barnes, the designer of this magnificent building, for Xenia Miller and Clementine Miller Tangeman, who commissioned most of the building's artwork, and for Alfred Edevine, founder of the seminary's theater, all remind us of the intimate relationship between spirituality and artistic creation. Gracious God, receive our gratitude. For Presidents Thomas Jackson Liggett and Richard Dickinson, who insisted that Christian Theological Seminary expand its reach to serve the global church through innovative partnerships with Orthodox and Roman Catholics, exchange programs of students and faculty, and curricula focused on global justice. Gracious God, receive our gratitude. For Lowell Colston, Sue Webb Cardwell, and Don Wismar, who pioneered clinically and theologically responsible forms of pastoral care, established the Counseling Center, and paved the way for the School of Counseling and its successful degree programs. Gracious God, receive our gratitude. For dedicated staff people like Evelyn Hale, Thelma Hodges, Ralph Riddle, Richard Burke, and Karen Kelm, who brought their unique gifts and spent their entire careers, more than 40 years, in service to this seminary. Gracious God, receive our gratitude. For fearless faculty who challenged generations of students to dismantle their harmful theologies of racism, misogyny, classism, and homophobia. For Garth and Karen Baker Fletcher, for Nell Slater, Carmelo Alvarez, and Rufus Burrow Jr. Gracious God, receive our gratitude. For dedicated faculty who offered more than 30 years of their life's work to patient theological education and formation here. For Keith Watkins and Calvin Porter, for Clark Williamson and Jerry Jansen, for Ron Allen, and for Bernie Lyon. Gracious God, receive our gratitude. For the many benefactors who have supported and continue to support the seminary, its alumni and alumna, congregations, clinics, and not-for-profit organizations, the Irwin Sweeney Miller family and the Lilly Endowment, and all others who have given their gifts, large and small. Gracious God, receive our gratitude. For our interfaith partners like Rabbi Sidney Steinman, Dennis and Sandy Sasso, for David Shahid and Michael Sahir, and for so many others who remind us that participating fully in God's transforming of the world requires all of us to cooperate together. Gracious God, receive our gratitude. For recent presidents and deans who led us to embrace more fully all of God's people and to strengthen our commitment to justice in the church and world. For Edward Wheeler and Carolyn Higginbotham, for Matthew Meyer Bolton, Holly Heron, and Edwin Aponte, for Bill Kincaid, and for Leah Gunning Francis. Gracious God, receive our gratitude. For our ongoing mission to form disciples of Jesus Christ for church and community leadership to serve God's transforming of the world, and for wise trustees and administrators, dedicated faculty, and committed staff people who now lead us in fulfilling that mission. Gracious God, receive our gratitude. As we remember with gratitude all these gifts to Christian Theological Seminary, may we be found as faithful as they have been in our calling. May we be found as faithful as those who have gone before us. In the name of God, the Creator, Redeemer, and Sustainer. Amen.